So what's up, YouTube? This is Doug Jenkins. I want to teach you guys out there how to make your 808 or your bass instruments or anything in the low end that you're trying to sound or trying to give it so you can hear it on a cell phone. Like, so you can hear it on these smaller systems. I was pointing to the Abingtones we have. So what do we do when it comes to that? I think some of the greatest hip-hop records or greatest pop records, you notice that range is very, very clear. It's very defined. It's very produced. Let's just put it that way. Now, in this example, this is like a stock sound. So this is anybody can do this at home. I think this is an FL Studio stock sound or something similar. So I want to talk to you about that sound in particular. So this would be just a basic stock sound for you guys getting started in hip hop. This is an 808. So let's listen to this 808. Okay, so it's just a basic low synth 808. It's got a distorted saw kind of sound, like a saw kind of wave. I think it was. I don't know. So what we're gonna do is, how in the world, or what's the best way to check? So I'm gonna give Brainworks, the company Brainworks, a lot of respect on this plugin. I don't think they designed it to do this, but maybe he did. I'd have to ask. But when you look at this plugin, it's really cool. Okay, so check this out. If you go to solo mode right on the mid-high, you can actually hear what's going on up there first and foremost, but that is really, in sense, the frequency range that you hear on your cell phone. Now, when I get a song and it sounds like this, so I did this prior to the video, and a lot of times I get this. Okay? Like, this is gone, and we roll all this because it just doesn't sound good with the song. So number one, getting an 808 that has a good top as well is a real good idea. A lot of times, especially, I mean, I know when I started, like, I'd just be so just, holy cow, man, listen to that boom, and you're taking it out to the truck and you got, 12s or 15s and your buddies are in there and it's like, you're excited and all that. But you don't understand, then you put it on your cell phone and it's like, man, where'd my kick go? And that happens because you're not really paying attention to the frequencies up top. So I think if I was going to start like an online course, I would say start mixing without any low end. And what I was trying to do is actually replicate like an Abingtone or an NS10, because I did that in a video a while back. But this is what I'm trying to say to you guys. If you can start to understand that the mix really starts to happen from 120 and up, that's where, if you get that right, the 808s and the things like that, they can be fixed in mastering, but they have to have space. So I shouldn't have said that. They have to have definition. I think some of the greatest mixes that I've ever heard are so refined and so imaged in the low end. Now that starts with, key, attack and release, timing. Like if you're off time, you're going to hear like flamming and stuff like that. The 808's got to be right on with that kick. There's all kinds of little things, but that's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is getting it to be heard in your cell phone. And this doesn't just apply to 808s. It applies to your vocals. I mean, it applies to your vocals. It applies to, instrumentation, hi-hats. So let me see if I can find a hi-hat. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to find a hi-hat and they're right here. I got lucky. They're all right there. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to keep this in solo, and you're just going to hear it like this, okay? I don't want you to get your attention on the 808, the bass, stuff like that. I just want you maybe to try this at home on your own mix. But now we're in solo mode if you have this plugin. Really cool plugin, by the way. And I'll get to hear what it sounds like. So this is what it is normally when I get it. Exactly what it sounds like. Like you literally don't. So that's pretty much what it sounded like to me. So I did this EQ just guessing while we were doing the video. And I'm going to tell you, that's pretty much what I get. So that 808's like way back here, that kick drum's way up here. You know what I mean? And you're going, And then the artist or the producer, that you send it out to the phone, they're like, man, it just ain't happening, it just ain't happening, it just ain't right. And so what do? How do you fix that? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to leave this EQ on. Okay, I'm going to leave the EQ on so it's like real life. Like that's where your sound was. You can do a thing. A popular one is I think this is why this plugin became so dang popular. It's because it works in this frequency range. Okay, it works where that mid range where you can hear it, and then we can push that. So check this out. See, now you're hearing you're hearing the compressor, and I didn't do that. So let's go back. Okay, so now the tone knob is at its max, so I'm gonna have to, in my own defense and his defense, I'm gonna have to blend a little bit of this back in because it's just not fair. So we're cutting too much. We're adding too much harmonic. So in this example, I'm not trying to finish the mix. I'm not trying to, be elaborate here. I'm just trying to show you guys the actual principle behind this. Like that is the frequency range where your phone is. So I just knew it became very popular with like Spotify and streaming services, iPads, Alexas. I mean, you name it. These smaller devices. That range right there is highly important. So when that's not hitting there, especially in an EDM, a pop, a hip hop, stuff like that, even like new Christian records, they're like that. New country records are like that. So it's not just those other those other genres. It's important. It becomes highly important for that range.